What's up guys, welcome back my YouTube channel. Today I will telling about USA Lincoln 1 cent wheat penny top 4 ultra rare coin. The Lincoln wheat 1 cent coin from 1946 is more than just a small copper coin. It is a powerful symbol of American history, unity, and recovery after one of the most challenging periods the United States had ever faced. This coin was minted just 1 year after the end of World War II, a time when America was transitioning from war to peace and rebuilding its economy and national confidence. The obverse of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln was the first real person ever to appear on a regular U.S. circulating coin, making this design historically important from the very beginning. On the front of the coin, the word Liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's profile, while the date, 1946, is shown on the right. Above Lincoln's head is the famous motto, "In God We Trust," reflecting the nation's values and faith during uncertain times. The reverse side of the coin displays two wheat ears curving along the edges, symbolizing prosperity, agriculture, and growth. At the center, the words 1 cent and United States of America are clearly visible. Above them is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This message held special significance in 1946, as the country emerged from a global conflict and reaffirmed unity among its people. The wheat design gave this coin its popular name, the wheat penny, and it remained in use until 1958. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D, and coins from San Francisco display an S below the date. Each mint produced millions of coins to meet the growing demand of a nation returning to normal life after wartime rationing and shortages. In terms of composition, the 1946 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This is especially notable because during World War II, in 1943, pennies were made of steel coated with zinc to conserve copper for military use. By 1946, copper had returned, making this coin feel heavier and more traditional in hand. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Historically, the year 1946 was a turning point for the United States. Soldiers were returning home, industries were shifting back to civilian production, and families were beginning a new chapter of peace and growth. The Lincoln wheat penny from this year circulated widely in daily life, used to buy newspapers, bread, and small necessities. It quietly witnessed the beginning of the post-war American boom. For collectors, the 1946 wheat penny is valued more for its historical importance than rarity. Most circulated examples are still affordable and popular among beginner coin collectors. However, coins in higher grades, especially those with full details and original red copper color, can carry higher value. Coins with minimal wear, sharp lettering, and strong wheat lines on the reverse are especially desirable. Mint state examples, particularly from the San Francisco Mint, are harder to find in pristine condition. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual planchet flaws can significantly increase the value of a 1946 penny, making them exciting finds for collectors. Beyond its monetary value, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny represents resilience and continuity. It connects modern collectors to a generation that lived through war and embraced peace. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of American history, one that reflects both hardship and hope. Even today, many people still discover these coins in old jars, inherited collections, or pocket change, sparking curiosity and interest in coin collecting. The simple yet powerful design reminds us of Abraham Lincoln's legacy and the enduring ideals of liberty and unity. Next coin. The Lincoln 1 cent wheat penny dated 1952 with the D mint mark is a classic piece of American coinage that represents the everyday history of the United States in the early 1950s. This coin was struck during a time of recovery and confidence in America, following the hardships of World War II and entering a new era shaped by industry, patriotism, and global influence. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure of liberty. By the time the 1952 wheat penny was minted, the Lincoln cent design had already been in circulation for more than 4 decades and had become one of the most recognizable coins in the world. On the obverse, or front side, of the 1952 wheat penny, we see a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, appear discreetly on the shoulder of Lincoln. Around the portrait are the familiar inscriptions. The word liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's profile, symbolizing the core values of the United States. To the right is the date, 1952, along with the small D mint mark just below it, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust," which reflects the spiritual and patriotic sentiment of the American people during this period. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design, which gives the coin its popular name, the wheat penny. 2 wheat stalks curve upward along the left and right edges, framing the inscriptions in the center. At the top is United States of America, followed by E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one. At the bottom is the denomination 1 cent. The wheat symbolizes prosperity, agriculture, and abundance, honoring the farming roots that helped build the nation. The 1952 wheat penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and had a relatively large mintage of over 746 million coins. Because of this high production number, the coin is considered common in circulated condition. However, despite its availability, it remains an important collectible due to its historical background and classic design. For many collectors, this coin represents the final years of the wheat penny era, which ended in 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. The metal composition of the 1952 wheat penny is another interesting detail. It is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. This copper-rich composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when new, which gradually darkens over time. Collectors often classify these pennies by color, such as red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much original copper luster remains. Historically, 1952 was a significant year in American life. The United States was deeply involved in the Korean War, and the Cold War was shaping global politics. At home, American families were experiencing economic growth, suburban expansion, and technological advancement. Coins like the 1952 wheat penny passed through countless hands, used for everyday purchases such as newspapers, candy, or public transportation. Each coin carries silent stories of the people and places it encountered. From a collector's point of view, the 1952 wheat penny is often valued more for its condition than its rarity. Circulated examples are widely available, making them affordable for beginners and history enthusiasts. However, well-preserved uncirculated coins, especially those with strong red color and sharp details, are more desirable and can command higher premiums. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can also increase interest among specialized collectors. The phrase, "Liberty of America," is strongly represented in this coin through both its design and symbolism. Lincoln himself is one of the most respected figures in American history, known for preserving the Union and ending slavery. His presence on the 1 cent coin reinforces ideals of freedom, unity, and equality. Even decades after its release, the 1952 wheat penny continues to serve as a small but powerful reminder of these values. Today, the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny remains a favorite among collectors and history lovers. Whether found in an old collection, inherited from a family member, or discovered while searching through pocket change, this coin connects the present to the past. It represents not just a single cent, but a piece of American heritage, reflecting the strength, resilience, and liberty of the United States during a pivotal era in its history. Next coin. The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most famous and talked about 1 cent coins in the history of the United States. Even though it looks simple at first glance, this small copper coin holds a powerful story of American history, minting errors, and collector fascination. For many coin lovers, the year 1955 immediately brings excitement, mystery, and value. the Lincoln 1 cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. By 1955, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 4 decades and had become a familiar part of everyday American life. On the front side of the 1955 wheat penny, we see a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head appears the word "Liberty," a powerful symbol of American freedom and democracy. To the left of Lincoln is the phrase, "In God We Trust," reflecting the nation's spiritual values. The year, 1955, is placed on the right side of the portrait, marking one of the most memorable dates in U.S. coinage. The reverse side of the coin features the classic wheat ears design, which gave the coin its popular name, the wheat penny. 2 wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges of the coin, symbolizing America's agricultural strength and prosperity. In the center, the words, 1 cent and United States of America, are displayed, with the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, above them, meaning, out of many, one. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, making the wheat penny an important chapter in American numismatic history. The 1955 wheat penny was produced during a time when the United States was experiencing post-World War II growth. The economy was expanding, families were settling into suburban life, and American industry was booming. Millions of pennies were struck to meet the needs of daily commerce, and most were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them their distinctive reddish-brown color. What truly makes the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny legendary is a famous minting mistake known as the 1955 double die obverse. This error occurred when the coin die was improperly aligned during the minting process. As a result, some coins were struck with doubled lettering and numbers, especially noticeable in Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1955. Unlike minor errors, this doubling is bold and easily visible to the naked eye. At the time, these error coins accidentally entered circulation, and many people spent them without realizing their importance. Over the years, collectors began to recognize the uniqueness of the double die variety, and it quickly became one of the most sought-after error coins in U.S. history. Today, the 1955 double die wheat penny is considered a true icon among American coins. Not every 1955 wheat penny is a double die, and most examples are common. However, even regular 1955 pennies remain popular among collectors because of their connection to this famous era. Coins from this year were mainly minted in Philadelphia, which means they do not carry a mint mark below the date. This detail helps collectors identify the coin correctly. The condition of the coin plays a major role in its collectible appeal. Coins that remain close to their original mint state, with sharp details and minimal wear, are especially admired. Over time, many pennies were heavily used, scratched, or discolored, making well-preserved examples harder to find. Collectors often look for strong wheat lines, clear lettering, and a smooth surface when evaluating a 1955 penny. Beyond its monetary value, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny represents a deeper connection to American history. It reflects a period when coins were not just currency but symbols of national identity. From Abraham Lincoln's legacy to the wheat ears representing American labor, every detail tells a story of unity, resilience, and progress. Today, the 1955 wheat penny continues to inspire curiosity among new collectors and seasoned numismatists alike. Whether found in an old jar, inherited collection, or carefully preserved album, this coin reminds us that even the smallest piece of metal can carry a powerful story. The 1955 Lincoln 1 cent coin stands as a timeless reminder that history often hides in the most ordinary places, waiting to be discovered. Next coin. The Lincoln wheat penny from 1958 is one of the most historically important and emotionally significant coins in American numismatics. Though it may appear small and simple at first glance, this 1 cent coin represents the end of an era that lasted nearly half a century in the United States. The year 1958 marked the final chapter of the famous wheat cent series, making this coin a symbol of transition, heritage, and American identity. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin quickly became a favorite among Americans. By 1958, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for almost 50 years, witnessing 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and massive social change. On the obverse side of the 1958 wheat penny, we see the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His expression is calm, dignified, and thoughtful, reflecting his role as a leader who preserved the Union during the Civil War. Above Lincoln's head is the word liberty, a core value of the United States and a constant reminder of freedom and democracy. To the left of Lincoln's portrait appears the date, 1958, while behind his head is the famous motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase officially added to U.S. coins in the 20th century and deeply connected to American culture. The reverse side of the coin is what gives the wheat penny its popular name. 2 wheat stalks curve gracefully along the left and right edges, symbolizing prosperity, agriculture, and national growth. Between the wheat ears are the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. At the top of the reverse appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, representing the unity of the American states. This simple yet powerful design became one of the most recognizable coin reverses in U.S. history. The 1958 wheat penny was produced at 2 mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those produced in Denver feature a small d below the date on the obverse. Millions of these coins were struck, as 1-cent pieces were heavily used in daily transactions during the 1950s. At that time, 1 cent had far more purchasing power than it does today, making the penny an essential part of everyday American life. One of the most important reasons the 1958 wheat penny is special is because it was the final year of the wheat reverse design. In 1959, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat stalks with the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. As a result, the 1958 issue became the last opportunity for Americans to hold a wheat penny fresh from the mint. This gives the coin strong historical importance. Even though it is not extremely rare in terms of composition, the 1958 wheat penny is made primarily of copper, with a small amount of tin and zinc. This gives the coin its warm reddish-brown color, which can vary depending on how well it has been preserved. Collectors often categorize these pennies as red, red-brown, or brown, based on how much original mint luster remains. Coins with bright red surfaces are especially attractive and desirable among collectors. While most 1958 wheat pennies are common, their value depends heavily on condition. Circulated examples are widely available and affordable, making them an excellent entry point for beginner collectors. However, uncirculated coins with sharp details, original luster, and no damage can be significantly more valuable. Rare mint errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can also greatly increase a coin's worth and interest. Beyond its monetary value, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny holds deep cultural meaning. It represents the final moment of a classic American coin design that connected generations. Many people today remember finding wheat pennies in pocket change, piggy banks, or old jars, often passed down by parents or grandparents. This emotional connection makes the coin more than just metal, it becomes a piece of living history. In conclusion, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is not just a 1-cent coin, it is a historical milestone. As the last wheat penny ever produced, it marks the end of a beloved design and the beginning of a new chapter in American coinage. Whether you are a collector, a history enthusiast, or someone who simply appreciates the story behind everyday objects, the 1958 wheat penny stands as a lasting symbol of American liberty, tradition, and change.